Hey everybody, Spoonfed here. I'm just doing this video in between because, well, a lot of stuff happened yesterday, or the day before that actually already, but we're living in different time zones, so yeah, we had the news yesterday. What happened was that Mega Upload was shut down, 7 people arrested somewhere in New Zealand, and the biggest issue I have with this is that the FBI literally said that they think piracy is more important than cybercrime. I will get into that later, and why that sentence is very important. I already talked about SOPA and PIPA. They've postponed the action because there were a lot of protests. Now, this does not mean that we won the war yet, as it were. I mean, we just had one battle in which they postponed the actual voting for a proposition or the 2 acts. And I just wanted to give you a little bit more information about SOPA and PIPA. SOPA is for domestic, meaning US based, so US hosted sites, those are domestic, and they can get controlled, but do not think that this will stay in the US. I mean, here in Europe we had the gambling laws, and a lot of them were free. Like in Italy and France, they were pretty much not state-owned but private corporations, and online you could advertise gambling there. And suddenly they did a sort of SOPA Act, meaning you could not advertise there anymore. So that's the other thing that will happen. If you have a English targeted site, let's just say that about 90% of the web is probably in English, you are therefore screened and will be checked and monitored and God knows what else. And that also means that my site will be down. That's why I had the blackout installed as well. The blackout is probably gone now because I just joined in for that one day. The reason for that was, well, I don't think I have that many visitors to my site actually. Plus I will be doing this video, hopefully you'll get some more attention. Yeah, but that would mean that if that act will be put through, then I could not offer my content to you via YouTube or otherwise, as you would not be able to see my site. No, and they also want to change the way the domain name system works, so like changing IPs to names. Normally my IP now will be based, I think, in the US somewhere, and of my site, but then they will just have totally new names as to I cannot have a .org anymore. No, they wanted to change my site to where you're hosting, so you could only have geo top level domains. And something I already talked about in my SEO videos, but for people who haven't watched those, it means like a .us for a site in the States, a .nl for a site in the Netherlands, a .cz for Czechoslovakia. Oh no, yeah, Czechoslovakia. And what else is there? Well, there are loads of CAs for Canada, BR for Brazil, PO I think is for Portugal. No, PT is for Portugal, and so on and so on. And you won't have any .com, whatever anymore, because everything has to be defined as where they're hosted. That's where the country is, so they can block geo top level domains. So everything coming in the US would have to be screened. That's what they want to have, and I don't want that. I want the internet to be free and open and as transparent as possible, plus the ability to generate information, but also share your information, whatever that information may be. That's the price you have to pay for freedom. There are a lot of people out there saying stuff that I don't agree with, or that I actually oppose even. But that wouldn't mean that they are not allowed to say that, because that's the price you have to pay for freedom. Everybody gets to say, everybody or nobody. And then I'd rather have everybody spew their opinions, and even hate-filled messages. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But also religious stuff comes to mind. I mean, I believe something, and I think a lot of people who watch my videos or can guess what I believe in. But that doesn't mean that I don't think a grown-up person who has made their own choice has a right to believe, or has a right to choose, to believe in what they want, meaning anywhere from taking on a Buddhistic lifestyle to be part of a sect or cult. If you're grown up and you make your own decision, well, if you've thought about it really long and hard enough, and nobody stopped you, then go for it. That also means that they can express their views of the world through the medium that we call the internet, which is free and open now. But with SOPA, it will be really, especially PIPA, it will really be dimmed and lessened to a very large extent. The other thing is PIPA is actually targeted at foreign sites, what they call it. So they tackle the whole world in one go, as it were. And what that entails is that you cannot just link to other sites as if it were nothing. You cannot share information, because information has to be paid for or has to be checked out if it's good or whatever. And I'm gonna make a series about hacking or even programming. That's a knowledge that they want to safeguard, as it were, and keep in books that you have to pay for. And I think programming and even hacking, or indeed everything, should be free, because the more knowledge you freely share, the more people can have access to it, the more people can learn from it and can contribute again to the process, enriching it far further than would be through educational pathways such as universities or high schools, colleges, or how you ever want to call it. And that's PIPA. PIPA's protecting of God knows what else. It's a very long act, but they want to protect intellectual property. And what they actually mean is safeguard their commercial structures, meaning they have a way set up right now, is that the top of the line, if a couple of big companies think of stuff, and they'll make you to buy it. But if everybody had right to that structure, as in, well, I have something that I created that's far better, and I'm just giving it to you for free because I just want people to enjoy it. The more people do that, the worse their commercial structure becomes, because there are a lot of people out there that make better tools, clothes, designs. I have better ideas and so on about what a certain product or service should be, and that is what they're mostly afraid of. So that's why they do this. And now I'll make the circle back to why I have the Justice Department charges leaders of Mega Upload with widespread online copyright infringement on. And you probably have read this already, or maybe not. Maybe you're just listening to my voice on and checking out something else. The reason why they took this down was that there was let's take a high number, about 5 to 7% of the files on Mega Upload were illegal. Let's just say, alright, that's no problem. But what they find even worse is that they had a lot of illegal profits through ad networks and stuff like that, and all their related sites combined had generated more than 175 million in criminal proceeds and causing more than $500 million in harm to copyright owners. So what that means is they accuse megaupload.com and their affiliates, as in the Mega World Network or something it's called, of facilitating and giving out, or how do you call it, owning a platform in which criminals can very easily like share a single download MP3. Let's say a single song of a CD, and that could mean that that person would have bought one CD, and after that listening of that CD, he could have gone to the concert, and at the concert he could have bought merchandise for that, and they all take that into account of the possible harm that could be done to copyright owners. Now, I'm not very much proficient in like generating such tales, but I think that if a person downloaded a MP3, a single MP3 of a artist, new artist, could be an old artist, doesn't matter, and he listened to that and he thought, wow, this is really good music, I think 8 out of 10, maybe even 9 out of 10 people would then actually buy the CD or a DVD or whatever they want to have, if it is at a reasonable price. I think that is the key word that the whole United States, and not the government of the United States, but the United States, like the real leaders, which George Carlin also talks about, which I will get into in a few moments, which we now have a really concrete evidence sentence of, quote even from FBI, like pointing directly at the evidence that George Carlin sketched, which is that the companies run the United States and have so already for a very long time, and not the government or whatever, because they cannot do anything unless the companies want it. And they not only control the United States, but they control foreign policies as well. And then even in like general, the Western society here is basically run by companies a lot more than the government that we chose or not chose. And the fact that they do not want to have reasonable prices is the fact that a lot of people are like, well, I only need one song, or I only want one CD, or I just want to have a taste of it, and you cannot do it anymore. I know there are like some stores that still have this concept, but the record store that we still have here in the Netherlands is of, you take a CD. Let's say you take the latest CD of an artist that you really like, but you have no way of knowing if it's good or bad, because your artist does not come on the TV and is not a commercially active person. Then how are you supposed to know if it's good or bad? You just have to buy it, and then, well, yeah, you bought it. No, we don't trade. You have to listen to it, and once you listen to it, oh, the seal's broken, you cannot return it. Yeah, too bad. It's a buy review. You should have thought of that before you bought it. Or, as we do here, well, yeah, you just have a chance to listen to the songs, and then make up your mind, well, is this a CD that I want to spend money on or not? Now, I don't know the current CD price in the States, actually. I haven't done that research yet. But in the Netherlands, the CD price new is 20 euros, which comes roughly at, well, you could say it's like $25 to $30. New CD, standard price. Doesn't matter who makes it. Now, I find that pretty expensive for something you don't know if you're gonna like or hate or even play that much. I mean, how much value do you get out of $30 for a CD that maybe you only like 2 tracks to? So some people then say, well, you have iTunes. Yeah, alright, but iTunes has, first of all, a horrible market because you cannot find everything you want. It's $1 per song, which, if you put that in the CD context, it would mean the CD was only $13, which would already make it a lot less, but not cheap. But I find that price to be reasonable. I don't think that's that unreasonable to charge $13, or about, like, say, 10 euros for a CD new. And they found out that a lot of people buy more than they already should be. And that's the other thing that's worse. If you buy more than you should be buying or you have need of, then marketing wins again. So if they like combine the two models of trying, giving you the opportunity to listen to a song before you buy it and having reasonable prices, I think a lot of piracy would already be like down the drain, as in it will stop. I think a lot of people already from doing this because most of them are students, I think, as I'm reasoning right now, that cannot afford to buy every new movie at a price, or they think, well, I'm only going to watch the movie one time and then I'm going to throw it away. In which case you could argue that there are I think it's called blockbusters in the States, or maybe that's already an old term that doesn't apply to the chain anymore, but you had videothèques, they're called here, as in you had a discotheque where you could go to dance and listen to songs for free, as it were. Oh, you had to pay entrance, but okay, for the rest of the night you could listen to songs for free. And the videothèque was where you could rent videos, video rental service or DVD rental service. But the fact that it's so easy to get videos online, and also to buy them online, but to buy them online, you don't have a physical means anymore. You just have, some system saying you do not have right to this video. So that's the thing about videos and movies. It's very complicated and complex in terms of what do you need to do to stop piracy there. And I would be honest, I don't have the solution to that as of right now. But the one thing I do know is you should not close the web, because it only makes it that people want to do this stuff even more, because forbidden fruit tastes the best. So, and the other thing that I want to say about Mega Upload was that I think 95%, or maybe let's take it a lesser number, 90% of the people used it for their study material, or for their work material, or for backing up their sites or whatever, and that they had on Mega Upload, and not all the copyright infringement stuff that they had. But I remember a case of the FBI charging a student for downloading a single MP3 or maybe even single CD, and charging him with, I don't know, something like $300,000, because that could be the damage caused by him for downloading one CD. And that's just way overly exaggerated, because if it really is such that the industry would collapse from piracy, we already had like downloads from the internet for illegal stuff for, well, not as long as the internet exists, but let's say the last 11 years or last 10 years, we already had that. Did the industry really collapse? No, they only made more and more money. So the fact that they say these things without really giving you the evidence suggests that they just don't want one single penny being lost in profit to people that give stuff away for free. Now, the 7 people that are charged are Finn Batale, Julius Bengo, Sven Echternach, Matthias Ortman, Andre Non, Bram van der Kolk, and Kim.com, or Kim Schmitz. And this one is actually a Dutch citizen, which I hope he will get free. I hope our country will do something on his behalf, but I'm not really sure what our relationship with New Zealand is. They could get 55 years of prison, and they have to pay for the damages caused between them. I hope, and I really do, that this case will be forlorn and lost, and that Mega Upload will win. Now we go to this things that say FBI is talking about the case in this case is part of efforts being undertaken by the Department of Justice Task Force on Intellectual Property, IP Task Force, to stop the theft of intellectual property. Or, in other words, we care more about See, meanwhile, in the real world, thousands of millions of dollars are stolen every year by cyber criminals. Real money taken from user credit cards and bank accounts. But as long as there's no theft of intellectual property, that's okay. In other words, they're literally saying we are more interested in protecting the assets or profits of the companies than we are of the individuals that make up our society. That's what they're saying there. Now, I only can accuse the FBI of being run by the businesses that govern or rule the United States, which makes it a fascistic country. That's the real definition of fascism. It has nothing to do with like race or creed or color or belief or whatever you want to think of it. Fascism is nothing more than companies running the country instead of the government or a king, queen, emperor, or any other form of ruling other than businesses. I'm very happy Anonymous reacted to this whole thing by taking down sites, and I come to a point which I've doubted on a lot, actually, and I've taken a decision that is kind of halfway of what I wanted to do. So I will come to that decision after I cover a response of the FBI, and then I will. That's the end of this whole talk, actually. This is a bit of an exaggeration, but it could be done, actually. They could close Google or Bing. Why? For the simple fact that you can find all these copyright infringement stuff via Google or Bing. It's a bit of a long shot, it's a bit of overreaching and dramatizing what should not be dramatized, but should be kept serious, factual, and to the point. So yeah, it's a bit a shame. Actually, this sentence here, that's here. So it's not that they lie. I mean, they really do say this in their official press release. Now, the last thing that I want to go is to US CERT, which I used to know what it stood for, but it was, yeah, this, the Computer Emergency Readiness Team. They are a bunch of, well, I won't say the word because then I might be accused of slander, as it were, or I don't know, God knows what else they want to accuse me of doing. This is a reaction to the stuff Anonymous did, actually, and that is that they fear that a lot of hacktivists are now trying to get into the network and delete, like physically delete everything that they have on data, which is not a weird reaction. It's not. It's like they're appearing very shocked and pointing their finger. No, you cannot touch your stuff. I mean, well, you touched our stuff. Like, it's none of your business. I mean, they literally deleted. Like, there were millions of people working with mega uploads. It's not like there were only 10 people or something. No, there were millions of people with millions of files, and all of that just got, well, deleted and removed without any sort of compensation or looking at which accounts actually spread copyright infringement material. No, the whole site should be down. And now they are mad that people that can actually help us citizens, the hacktivists, do some damage of their own back to make them feel what it's like. And then now they're saying, oh no, you cannot do that. Oh, and they're saying, well, you should make a data backup and a recovery plan, and you should mirror your sites and maintain an image of your critical system files, and encrypting and securing sensitive information, like all the stuff you should already do if you're a big company in safeguarding your data, which you don't do right now. They are explicitly saying to do again the same as being on guard against social engineering tactics aimed at obtaining sensitive information, such as phishing. Well, social engineering and phishing go together, that's true, but actually social engineering methods to get information is phishing, as it were. So it's not like you can social engineer on via different ways, but every time you use social engineering to get information, that's phishing. I mean, you even have spear phishing, which means you target a single person instead of a whole organization abstract. Now you have different methods of phishing. Of course, you have phishing just by calling the company and asking what kind of software they use or system or who does the passwords or whatever, to making a site that looks like the login site of Facebook but has a different URL name. That's also phishing. But basically, it's always phishing. So that's something pet peeve of mine. And ensuring that sensitive files are securely eliminated from hard drives when no longer needed or required. That is by far the most dubious sentence of all time, because we know that there should be records being kept for all the crimes that you commit, for all the sensitive files that they're talking about contain information that you should keep in case of something that went wrong. You know, it's just evidence, and they're saying, well, delete the evidence, please, because I think we're about to get hacked, and let's just not make it so that there is evidence that they could use against us. Well, I hope they get routed or hacked like none other. And I don't want to encourage people and incite people to hack the FBI and the CIA and the states, but I just hope that enough changes will be made that there will be made a stop to this whole fascistic regime they have. But as always, I think the rich guys will go clean because they have money, and the rest of us will have to suffer for it. There was a thing that I would come back to. Yeah, the decision I made. There is a tool out there which is used in the anonymous attacks, and it's called the low orbit ion cannon. Now, the low orbit ion cannon, or LOIC, is actually a stress testing tool. So what you need to use it for is on your own server to see what can my server handle, which is cool. But you can also use it to target a lot of computers at something else, of course. And this one is the this one is, I think, the correct one. But this is the LOIC tool that is downloaded a lot. But you also have the Hive Mind, and yeah. Let me see where you can. Do they have it in the bin directory? Where did I keep it? Yeah, that's what I mean. But I think I'm just looking. Yeah, alright. Alright, so turning back to the thing that I made a decision on. So, turning back to the one that I made a decision on is a tool that they use to take everything down. Oh. And that's low orbit ion cannon. And what that does is it's usually used for stress testing your network and your server to see what your server can handle. But you can also use it with so-called hive mind, and that is targeting to a RC channel which has the targets on it, so you don't have to do anything. Now, I'm not going to incite or encourage people to download this tool and use it. I really don't. I'm just showing you where you can get it. You should make up your own mind to be a part of this or not. We each of us have our own actions and we must face the consequences accordingly. What you're gonna do is you're gonna download the binary, unzip it, and run it. And I will show you what it looks like. Save file. It's not that big. It's a very small file. No, it's not a threat. Don't worry. Alright, I can delete that. Now, here you have LOIC. Here you go. This is what it looks like, and you can target this at the specific, what do you call it, the RC channel, and that will be the target. I sincerely hope you can guess what this button does. You click it here and you have a timeout response, the subsite, what kind of message, what you want to do, the port, of course, the method, the threads you want to do, and here it says what the attack status is. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like, and you could find the RC targets by just googling for them. RC targets. RC hive mind. It's just a different one. Here you are. Here you have manual. Here you have go away. I know what I'm doing. I just thought I could click this, but it doesn't. Here you type in your RSC server, the channel, the port, or the RSS URL, and then charging laser, and it will do the rest automatically. This is usually the channel for low orbit ion cannon, but you can find that on your own by just going to the anonymous IRC and find out what they're talking about and stuff like that. So it's your own choice to do it or to not do it. These are the tools that you need to join in their attack. So this is it for me, actually, and the message I want to give you all is to not stop protesting, because they only postponed it for now, and we need to close it for indefinitely. To really think about how the world works and to hopefully come to the same conclusion that a lot of other people have. Watch lots of George Carlin, and not the stand-up, because that's really great actually, but watch interviews with him. Also watch Bill Hicks, for that matter. He's the same. He also has the same ideas. Other than that, I don't have a real message there, other than to keep the internet free and open, and that I'm being summoned by my cat Rorschach because he's hungry. Yeah, I hope this will help you out, and again, each of us have their actions, and you should face the consequences accordingly. I just only showed you where to find everything. That's my job, I think, but I'm not here to incite people to make people do stuff they don't want, or to get people in trouble for stuff, or get myself into trouble for just saying, oh, you should attack. No, that's not something I want to do. I think people should have the right to make up their own decisions with the information that they get, and they should get all the information that they should get. This is it for me for now. I'll be making the install of Habari, Typo 3, and WordPress. After this, everything will be online, and I will do the beginning as well, hopefully, of the hacking series. For now, just take care, and let's hope this whole SOPA Pipa thing blows over. Oh no, one thing before I forget, I just remembered. The the Internet Commission of Europe, Commissioner of Europe, is Nelly Kroes, is a Dutch woman who wants to shape what internet could be for Europe, and she is also against SOPA and PIPA, which I'm really happy with. So she said two things about it which were good. One thing is there is I don't need bad legislation when I'm trying to create an open internet. Very good sentence. And the other one is, well, speeding is also illegal, but you don't put speed bumps on the motorway, which is almost exactly what happens. I mean, putting speed bumps on the motorway defeats the whole purpose of having a motorway. So SOPA and PIPA defeat the whole purpose of having internet. And with that, I actually want to end this session. It's been long enough, and I'll see you next time.